All-America at LSU and standout in the WNBA, has been elected to the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. That induction ceremony will be June 14th in Knoxville. Congratulations to Sylvia Fowles.
So well earned. You think about all the time we spent over the last year to 18 months talking about Simone Augustus and her well-deserved honors, and the fact that they were here. We had the chance to watch them play and develop here in Baton Rouge, go on to success on the national and international level with Olympics and WNBA titles. Congratulations, Big Sil. Well-deserved. And look forward to seeing her come back in town to celebrate it as well with those here in Baton Rouge.
Right now there's work to do for the Tigers to avoid an upset. By the way, the LSU soccer team is in action. First round NCAA action against Texas Tech in Lubbock. And they are in the second half. LSU has scored a second half goal. It trailed 2-0 at halftime. Right now it's 2-1, Texas Tech leading LSU in the first round of NCAA soccer in Lubbock, Texas. Williams bumps away from a defender, fades, fires, leaves it short.
And there was enough space there for Michaela. She didn't really have to fade away. She almost took herself out of that shot, falling away from the basket.
Ford leaves it for Polk. Polk throws it away. Williams, one-on-one against Polk, pulls up, shoots, misses the 6-footer. The Tigers have not shot the ball very well, only 40%, and had a horrendous shooting second quarter. Oh, what a feed, what a catch, what a score by Morrow. And LSU has the lead after trailing much of this game. LSU's first lead since it was 28-27. LSU had come from 13 down, 55-54. That's off the mark by Caitlin Young.
This has not been her night at all offensively. LSU has no problem with that, but she has been frustrating all night long.
Polk got picked off on the Morrow screen, and Johnson scores. Morrow set a perfect and legal screen and just eliminated the defender.
Gave her the opening that she needed to be able to put that shot up. Great execution, not only setting the screen, but using the screen.
Johnson with 17. Rebound bounces deep. Williams on the move. Looking, going baseline, fading and firing. Left it short again. Several of her shots have been shy. That one is saved back into the hands of Young.
See, and in the second quarter, that's the shot that was falling every time down the floor for Murray State when they had that incredible quarter that they won 32-12. Now not falling at all.
Another rebound for Morrow. That's a dozen for her. Johnson is blocked as she started to the right side, trying to go baseline. Haven Ford called for the blocking foul. That's her third.
Third quarter and first 2.5 minutes of this quarter, it's been a 20-8 second half. Very, very low scoring with a lot of the misses. You'd like to think that LSU would have put a little more on the board with as cold as Murray State has been.
Murray State only scored 8 points in the third quarter. Tigers had 16. First team foul. 14 turnovers now for LSU, 15 for Murray State. Ford against Johnson. Young turns, puts it on the floor, and scores a power drive down the left side. And she uses her body and is smooth, very crafty, very powerful, very fundamentally sound.
Well, she's had a frustrating night, but don't think that means she's going to quit.
That's a big bucket on the jumper by Day Wilson. And we've got a timeout. 7:03 to go in the fourth quarter. LSU 59, Murray State 56. More in a moment on the SEC ESPN Network. LSU has regained the lead after trailing 46-37 at halftime. 7 minutes to play, 59-56. Tigers still a one-possession game. Let's look at the prognostication in the MVC preseason poll. Drake got nearly all of the first-place votes, followed by Northern Iowa and Belmont. Murray State picked to finish 4th, and you see the rest of the 12-member conference there.
The Murray State team that went to the WNIT last season, 20-12 year, going 12-8 in the Valley.
That's a league that traditionally pulls off some upsets, does it not?
Yep. Mostly with those teams you saw that are once again picked near the top. Murray State trying to add to that, only down 3 here in Baton Rouge, giving LSU everything it can handle.
Tigers come out and press. Johnson is trying to take it away from Pena, or I beg your pardon, from Ford. Learn puts it on the floor. Smith holds her ground. There's contact. The ball comes loose. Stolen by Samaya. Day Wilson. Left side Johnson. Pull up jump shot. Got it.
And Flau'jae just looks so calm. You don't see her feel any pressure. Little head fake, one quick dribble, just puts it in.
Smooth with a lot of O's.
A lot of O's.
This is the biggest lead for the Tigers in a while. Free throws will be coming for Polk as she continues to probe the lane for Murray State.
Go back on the offensive end for LSU. In the corner, not even a full ball fake. Just a hesitation was enough to draw the attention. You see the commitment. As soon as she jumps, Flau'jae just one side dribble, nowhere close to hitting the rim. Beautiful shot to give her 19 on the game.
I call those cotton balls.
Soft, easy, and smooth, right over the top of the rim. 19 for Flau'jae, 13 for Williams. The only 2 still for LSU in double digits. 3 in double digits for Murray State, and they're led by Learn, who has 18.
Polk, who had not shot a free throw in the first 2 games, nails those 2, and her team trails by 3. LSU with quick ball movement for the open 3, way long by Kaylin Gilbert. It's a one-possession game, and Murray State has the possession. LSU will reinsert Michaela Williams at the next whistle. She is waiting at the scorer's table. Once again, it's Polk that's swatted down by Morrow, and they're going to call Morrow for the foul, I believe.
You know, and Murray State, Lynn, they continue to run that wide circle from one side to the other, and then they turn it north and south to go to the basket, and LSU's not getting in front to cut them off. So players are riding the shoulders, and then the help defense is coming over, but there's nothing stopping them going to the basket.
It was Smith on the foul, by the way. That's her 3rd. And Murray State has run that play, at least 20 times?
It feels like it, if not more.
And LSU has, for the most part, had a great deal of difficulty getting in front of it.
Yeah, it's the reason why they're outscoring LSU in the paint 26-18.
That is shocking, absolutely surprising. LSU by a bucket.
No problem. Look at her, step right into it. Coming off of that screen, curls to the free throw line, just up and in.
Once again, smooth from Flau'jae Johnson.
Makes it another game over 20 points. Now she has 21.
This for 3 from straight away, online but long by Learn. Murray State takes it back, 3 ball by Polk. Online, bouncing, no good. Rebound pulled off by Johnson, and she lopes across the timeline. She'll slow it down left side, less than 5 minutes to play. We've got a 4-point game. Tigers lead on their own court, but it has not come easily. Shot clock at 7. Day Wilson from distance. Nestles it over the rim. That's a big bucket.
She was left all alone. Could have driven a little bit if she wanted to, but had all the time she needed to square up at that three-pointer, and that is a big bucket.
That gives her 9 on the night. Learn. No. Strong rebound once again by Morrow. She continues to work very hard, chasing down missed shots on both ends of the court. 13 boards for Morrow. Coming off a 20 rebound performance. Day Wilson will try another one. This one is left short. Rebound by Learn. That's her 9th. She's been a really big part of this Murray State effort. 66-59. Tigers lead by 7. This is a huge possession for Murray. Polk dribbling back and forth. Ball is knocked away. Contact. Flau'jae Johnson has it alone. Lays it in.
Well, Anisha Morrow with that help defense. She cuts her off on the outside. Forced them back out. And all of a sudden it was Morrow on one side, Flau'jae on the other. The little tap away, and Flau'jae makes it a breakaway layup.
LSU has scored 7 straight points to put some distance between itself and Murray State with 3:27 to play.
Watch, look, see how Morrow jumps out, cuts her off, forces her away, and while she's trying to get control of the dribble, Flau'jae says, "Thanks, teammate, I'll take it from here." The easy glide down the floor and lays it in.
This has not been a beautifully painted canvas for the Tigers tonight, and give Murray State some credit because their game plan has been effective against the Tigers, and they are doing some things against LSU. Murray State is that I certainly did not expect, and that is get to the rim time after time after time.
Yep, getting in the paint, and that's something that LSU is going to watch this game film, and that's going to be a point of emphasis. What they need to do defensively, because you know other teams will watch this, and they'll think LSU can be beat just getting to the lane because they're a step slower. They're not cutting it off. This is something LSU will focus on. Murray State deserves a lot of credit for coming in here and not being intimidated, but hey, give LSU credit too. A lot of new players and new faces. They found themselves down in a position they're not used to being in at home. Now they've climbed it back to where they have a 9-point lead.
LSU trailed 46-37 at halftime after a horrendous second quarter. Seven to shoot, this for 3.
And that's the part of Murray State's game that has left them out to dry here in the second half. They have not been good from the three-point line. In fact, in this half, Lynn, in this half, Murray State is 0 for 14 from behind the line.
Wow. Learn left that one short off the rim. How about that move by Morrow, but unable to score, and Learn pulls off the rebound. She's got a double-double now. That's up. Somehow it got through the taller players, but missed by Ford. 2.5 to play. LSU leads by 9. Learn 18 points and 10 rebounds. One of the better players tonight for Murray State. She was averaging 15.5 points and 8 rebounds through the first couple of games. Even better tonight against the SEC's Tigers. 3 to shoot. Williams fires. There's contact. Learn turns and can't believe the whistle. But the free throws will be coming. That's her second foul.
Called her on that body contact, and it winds up being a long 2-point attempt. I'm sure she probably would step back 4 to 6 inches. That could have been a three-pointer, so it had to be foot on the line, but she'll get 2 at the free throw line.
LSU's lead is double figures for the first time in a long time. First time since the first quarter. 14, now 15 for Michaela Williams. Less than 2 minutes to play. Polk leans over the dribble. Precious seconds are wasting away. And a foul called on, I believe it's Johnson, yes.
And Michelle Turner was even looking at Polk saying, come on, we got to go. She's waving that finger in a circle, telling her, get moving, get moving. We don't have time to sit out here and dribble.
That was only the 4th team foul. Murray State has committed only 2.
Well, give Morrow and Smith and Flau'jae, when she's been on, a lot of credit. That defensive pressure has completely taken Young out of this game.
Shot clock at 4. LSU takes it away. Flau'jae on the move, and she is fouled. She will be shooting some free throws at the 1:27 mark in the 4th period. LSU's lead is 11.
And they have picked it up at the right time to close this thing out, holding Murray State without a field goal from their last 6 tries in a scoring drought of 4.5 minutes.
And Murray State, after exploding and playing so well in the second quarter, in the second half has scored only 13 points.
Yeah.
Johnson looking for her 10th point. 4 for 4. That's 10 points in this quarter.
Yeah, if she makes this free throw, she's doubled up the points that Murray State has as a team. Flau'jae 10-5 in this quarter. LSU 18 overall.
Murray State in the second quarter alone scored 32 points. And it scored only 13 in the entire second half.
That's offensive.
A push off.
That's a bad screen. Pena was they're trying to stop with that LSU pressure, which has been relentless in the second half. And a little bit of an exchange, but when she didn't stop to set a screen and just basically ran over Day Wilson. Offensive foul going back to LSU.
So the Tigers have a chance to burn some clock here. They've scored 11 straight points, as LSU. Flau'jae goes down low to Morrow, and she fades and hits the 6-footer. It has not been her best game offensively, but she does have a double-double with 10 points and 13 rebounds. Smith rejects it. Morrow, by the way, now has 76. Yes, 76 career double-doubles. Not a great night offensively for Morrow, but working hard to get 10 and always working hard on the glass to get 13.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she really had to get some work done. She struggled so much early in this game, as you'll now see a full line change for Murray State.
So they're going to let 5 new players come into the game here with 42 seconds remaining, and LSU's lead is now 74-59 after a horrendous second quarter. LSU was outscored 32-12 in the second period. But the Tigers have reversed things in the second half.
Yeah, 37-13 here in the second half for LSU.
Morrow, offensive rebound, but misses the return shot. And free throws will be coming. That's team foul number 5. And this is Braxton Baker, a freshman from Lowell, Michigan. Had 6.5 points in a reserve role, averaging over the first couple of games. Cook, Baker, Blasquez, Thomas, and Kelling in the game now in the final seconds for Murray State. LSU can dribble it away.
And that's exactly what they're going to do. Not take a shot, just dribble this one out.
A 14-point lead in the closing seconds for the Tigers. The Tigers will go to 4-0, but a very gritty, determined Murray State team gave LSU a game, certainly. 14 is the final score, but perhaps not even indicative of where this game was at one time.
No, like I said, give credit to LSU for finding themselves in a position they rarely find themselves in at home, down big, when they basically had the doors blown off in the second quarter. But they regrouped, they executed when they needed to, made it a 37-14 second half when they really locked down on defense and found a way to make the plays they needed to come back and get a win.
And one key number, Victor, in the fourth quarter. Murray State had no field goals over the last 7 minutes in the game.
That's that defensive pressure LSU put on. You saw it there to the very basically last minute and a half of the game when Kim Mulkey finally told them to sit back on it. But they frustrated. Look, that young lady right there is an excellent ball player. But LSU took Young out of this game tonight and had her all frustrated. She finished with 8 points on 3 of 12 shooting.
Next up for LSU, it's the 18th of November against Troy out of the Sun Belt Conference. That'll start at 7 o'clock. So we're done here in Baton Rouge tonight. LSU survives and wins it with a big second half, 74-60. That's the final. For my partner, Victor Howell, I'm Len Rollins saying so long from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. LSU goes to 4-0 on the year, 74-60, the final score. The Tigers beat Murray State. This has been a presentation of ESPN.